Alright, I'm going to start off with this video by saying I love Woody Allen as a filmmaker. Just as a filmmaker. As a person, not so much, but as a filmmaker, as a director, he's amazing. Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Here's my top 10 personal favorite Woody Allen movies. Yes, Woody Allen is one of the greatest film directors of all time, and I thought to celebrate all his great films, I'd do a top 10 of my personal favorite Woody Allen movies. And yeah, I'm a Woody Allen fan, like I said in the beginning. I'm not a big fan of him as a person, because I know he's done a lot of questionable things, but as a filmmaker, as a writer, as a director, I think he's absolutely fantastic, creative, hilarious, unique, and of course a narcissist, but that's what makes him so great, and that's what makes his movies so great, and I thought I'd celebrate all his great movies by making a top 10 personal favorite Woody Allen movies. Alright, let's get started. Here's my top 10 list, and before a top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are Everyone Says I Love You, Deconstructing Harry, Manhattan Murder Mystery, Crimes and Misdemeanors, The Purple Rose of Cairo, Small Time Crooks, and Cafe Society. All great Woody Allen movies. Just couldn't make the top 10 list, but what did make my top 10 was my number 10. And my number 10 is Mighty Aphrodite. Mighty Aphrodite stars Woody Allen himself, also F. Murray Abraham, Helena Bonham Carter, Mira Sorvino, who won the supporting actress for this movie. This is the second Woody Allen movie I ever watched. In 2011, my favorite Woody Allen movie came out, and I didn't know much about Woody Allen, but that movie just blew me away. I wanted to watch all of Woody Allen's movies, so basically for like 2 months, I binge-watched all of Woody Allen's movies, and not necessarily in order from his first movie to his latest movie. I just watched a bunch of random Woody Allen movies, and eventually I watched his entire filmography, and the first movie I watched was the 2011 movie, which is my favorite one, but this is the first one I watched when I binge-watched all his movies, Mighty Aphrodite. The reason I picked this one first to watch is because it sounded so weird and bizarre, and honestly, I really liked it, actually. It actually does talk about what it means to stay loyal and stuff, you know, helping out a person, how far can you go when you actually help someone and stuff, and if you're attracted to someone that isn't your wife and everything, and this is a very bizarre, weird comedy that does do the Woody Allen-isms, you know, breaking the fourth wall and stuff, and I love F. Murray Abraham in this movie. Woody Allen's really good. Mira Sorvino absolutely steals this movie. I completely understand why she won her Oscar. She is hilarious, hysterical in this movie. This is definitely one of the funniest Woody Allen movies. Most of Woody Allen's movies are also very dramatic, very deep, very poetic, very powerful. This isn't one of them. This is just a very funny, very lighthearted movie, and I freaking love it. And it's also a pretty crude Woody Allen movie. A lot of his movies aren't always very crude and vulgar, but this one kind of is, and it kind of works because it's just really funny. Coming number 9 is Blue Jasmine. Blue Jasmine came out a couple of years ago, and this movie is just so good. Again, another very deep, dramatic comedy. Cate Blanchett won her Oscar, her second Oscar for this movie. She is so good in this movie as the character Jasmine, going through hard trials in life, and basically she does balance the point of likable and unlikable. Even though she is a pretty unlikable character, you do feel this deep sympathy for her, but she is incredibly unlikable. And Sally Hawkins is also in this movie. She is fantastic. So is Alec Baldwin and Pierce Skarsgård. They're all great. But Blue Jasmine works because Woody Allen's writing for this movie is absolutely fantastic. The dialogue is so great. The comedy is so great. These characters are so amazingly written. And also what makes this movie is Cate Blanchett. She is absolutely brilliant. I think this is one of her best performances of her entire career. It's right there with The Aviator and Here's Case of Benjamin Button and Elizabeth and stuff. This role was just made for her, and it's just a brilliant Woody Allen movie and a brilliant Cate Blanchett movie, and it's my 9th favorite Woody Allen movie. It's just so good. Coming number 8 is Manhattan. Manhattan, yes, believe it or not, this movie, Woody Allen himself actually doesn't even like this movie. This is one of his few movies he actually regretted making. He actually didn't like it. He didn't find it very creative. He didn't think he put enough effort into this movie. He didn't find it very funny or very iconic, which it is. I completely disagree with Woody Allen. Yes, I'm disagreeing with the actual filmmaker who wrote and directed this movie. He didn't like it, but I sure as hell loved it. I love how this movie is shot. The black and white cinematography look fantastic. The tone, the style of this movie is great. The set pieces look great. The production's great. And I love the performances. Like, Woody Allen's great, Diane Keaton, Meryl Streep. They're all brilliant in this movie, and I love the setting. I love the score. The iconic imagery in this movie is fantastic. I love the comedy, I love the breaking the fourth wall, I love the story, I love the characters. Everything about Manhattan just works for me. So yeah, I completely disagree with Woody Allen. Yay, he may not like this movie, but I sure as hell do. I think it's great. Coming number 7 is Hannah and Her Sisters. Hannah and Her Sisters is such a good movie. This movie won 3 Academy Awards. I think Diane Wiest won Supporting Actress, Michael Caine won Supporting Actor, and Woody Allen took the original screenplay, which is his 2nd Academy Award he won. Yeah, because he won for Annie Hall. This movie is so great. Again, another movie about being loyal to your significant other. I think Woody Allen actually almost steals this movie. I love him as this producer who thinks he's gonna die and stuff, and basically when he doesn't die, he basically wants to live life to the fullest. Then he meets Diane Wiest, who he actually didn't like, but now he does like because she's more lit up more, and now she's more into artistic things, and I love his chemistry with her. But then I also love Michael Caine, who is married to a very kind girl played by Mia Farrow, who's also fantastic in this movie. And he's basically, you know, kind of cheating on her, but then he knows staying loyal to your wife is the right thing to do and stuff. And yeah, I love Michael Caine in this movie. I love Diane Wiest in this movie. I love Mia Farrow in this movie. I love Woody Allen in this movie. I love everybody in this movie. Everyone is just so good. Also, Max von Sydow is in this movie. He's also so good. I love how this movie's written. I love how real and fleshed out these characters are in this movie. It is not a movie for everyone. This movie is a straight up movie for Woody Allen fans, and since I am a Woody Allen fan, this is definitely one of my favorites. It's so good. Coming number 6 is Bullets Over Broadway. Bullets Over Broadway is so freaking funny. John Cusack, hilarious in this movie. Just like Mighty Aphrodite, I like this movie because it just makes me laugh so much. Is there anything like visually stunning about this movie? No. Is there anything original or creative? Yeah, but also no and stuff. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing iconic. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it is funny. I love this movie. I love how lighthearted it is. It has a lot of dark themes in this movie, and there's some things they talk about that's a little mature and also a bit confusing at times, but it just works for the movie. I love these characters. I love how this movie's written. Again, I love John Cusack. I love the entire cast in this movie. And I just love how hysterical this movie is. This movie makes me laugh from start to finish. That's why I love it so much. That's why I love it more than like Hannah and Her Sisters. Hannah and Sisters is a much better movie, and it's betterly written and better directed and stuff, but this movie just makes me laugh more, and I've seen this movie more times because it's just so lighthearted, so funny, and just so enjoyable and so entertaining. That's why Bullets Over Broadway is one of my favorite Woody Allen movies. It's just so funny. Coming number 5 is Husbands and Wives. Husbands and Wives stars Woody Allen, Mia Farrow, Sidney Pollack, and Liam Neeson. A lot of great actors in this movie. They're all so freaking good in this movie. I love this movie. Again, this is also about relationships, husbands and wives, being together, being loyal to someone. Is having an affair the right thing? Is seeing other people the right thing? Will it damage your relationship? It's so good. I love how this movie is shot, too. There's a lot of great tracking shots, and I love how this movie feels like a mockumentary, but it really isn't, but it kind of is. It feels like this movie is like a documentary because there's a lot of scenes of the actors, the characters, talking to us as the audience like it's a documentary, talking about their lives, what their marriage means to them and stuff. It feels like almost a documentary / mockumentary style, but it kind of isn't. I love how unique this movie is, how this movie is filmed and stuff. It's so awesome, original, and unique, and I love it. Husbands and Wives is also, it does have a lot of great comedic moments, but it's more of a terrific character study and an amazing dramatic film. I love this movie. I think this movie is brilliantly directed, amazingly written, and I think the entire cast is so sensational. They're so freaking good in this movie. And yeah, Husbands and Wives, I know a lot of people might not put it on their top 10 lists, but it's definitely one of my favorites. Coming number 4 is Annie Hall. Annie Hall, 1977. Yes, this movie beat Star Wars at the Academy Awards. I don't agree with that. Star Wars is a better movie than Annie Hall, but Annie Hall is still a solid movie. This is one of the first movies that did the breaking the fourth wall to the audience. That and like the Muppets and stuff, but I love this movie. Woody Allen is fantastic. Diane Keaton, who won her Oscar for this movie, is brilliant as Annie. Annie Hall herself. She is so good. The chemistry between both of them is fantastic. I love the romance. The romance in this movie is very well done. It feels so real and so genuine and stuff, and I love their chemistry together. I love their conversations together. I love how they talk. I love the topics they talk about. I love the weird, strange things they talk about. I love Woody Allen playing this comedian, again, who's a huge narcissist, and it just works, because Woody Allen just plays neurosis just so well in his movies, and it's so well done. This movie won a bunch of Academy Awards, and it was so well deserved. You know, I think Star Wars deserved it more, but I still think Annie Hall is a solid movie, and it's considered the best Woody Allen movie, and I sort of agree. It is one of the best Woody Allen movies, and it's my 4th favorite. Coming number 3 is Broadway, Danny Rose. Yes, this movie, nobody puts on their top 10 list. No one even talks about it, and I love it. I think this movie's great. I love the story about these people telling the story about Danny Rose. This guy gets people jobs through Broadway, circus acts and stuff, and he's a very loyal agent to all the people he helps and stuff, to all his clients and stuff. And basically he has to help his client, but then he doesn't want to betray his client, but he falls in love with this girl and stuff, and yeah, just a lot of shit happens in this movie, and yeah, Woody Allen is great in this movie. Mia Farrow's also in this movie. She did a lot of Woody Allen movies. She is also fantastic in this movie. Again, the black and white shots to make this movie just more creative, and it just gives it more of a classic feel, and I love the comedy. This movie's also, and it's just right to the point, and I just love it. I love how it's written, I love how it's paced, I love how it's directed. This is just a personal favorite of mine. I love its comedy, I love its style, I love its story, and I love its characters. It may not be a lot of people's favorites, but it's definitely one of my favorites. Coming number 2 is Vicky, Christina, Barcelona. Vicky, Christina, Barcelona is almost a Woody Allen masterpiece. This movie is so good. Again, a really comedic movie, but also a very deep, romantic, dramatic film. It's so freaking well done, so freaking well directed. I love the writing, and I love the performances by everybody in this movie. Javier Bardem is fantastic. Scarlett Johansson's fantastic. Rebecca Hall is fantastic. And most importantly, Penelope Cruz is the best in this movie. She stole the movie. Penelope Cruz, a very mediocre actress, stole the whole movie, and this movie's great. It's a very sexy kind of comedy, and it just works. The cinematography, the editing, the writing, the direction, all works. It's amazing. It's brilliant. It's my 2nd favorite Woody Allen movie. And my number 1 favorite Woody Allen movie is Midnight in Paris. Midnight in Paris, I think everyone knows this is my favorite Woody Allen movie. It's amazing. I love the story about a guy who's a writer. He's also a bit of a narcissist and stuff. And basically one night when he's in Paris, at the stroke of midnight, he travels back in time to the 1920s and sees all the historic people during Paris in the 1920s, like Ernest Hemingway, Gertrude Stein, Pablo Picasso and stuff, and the Fitzgerald, Zelda Fitzgerald and stuff, and it's just so good. This movie is also really funny, it's really dramatic, and I love the romance, I love the cinematography, I love the gripping score, and I love these characters, I love all these actors they got to play all these historic people. You got like Tom Hiddleston, Kathy Bates as Gertrude Stein, you got Marion Cotillard. Everyone is just fantastic in this movie, so freaking good. I love it. This is the definition of a perfect Woody Allen movie. Is it a perfect movie? No, there's no such thing as a perfect movie, but this is a perfect Woody Allen movie. The comedy, the romance, the drama, the story, everything is fantastic. He won his original screenplay for this movie, and it was totally well deserved. It's my favorite Woody Allen movie. Hands down, so good. That's my top 10 personal favorite Woody Allen movies. So in the comment section below, please tell me, did you grade this list? If not, give me all your top 10 favorite Woody Allen movies. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to his channel and join the dark side.